Gerhard,
I'm in.
we, we were supposed to have interviews at 6, but one of the guys had a medical emergency, but the other guy was there waiting. So I did do an interview with him, but we're going to have to work out one with the other guy, and I can share these thoughts unless you want to. I don't know how. You want to handle that. If you want, like mine and Kevin's notes of his interview, or if you'd rather interview him yourself, or
Well, first of all, we've been given 1 day to make a decision, not even 1 day to make a decision. So I'm not going to vote for anybody like that. Second of all,
I'm not asking for a vote. I'm asking how you want to handle the interview.
According to Kevin's thing here, it says that we're going to vote on appointment of a custodian. So that's utterly ridiculous.
I didn't say you had to. I said you could make an offer. It's up to you. Could is conditional. Yes or no. Maybe you do, maybe you don't.
It does not say that on your thing here. It says appointment of custodian. It doesn't say, it says appointment of custodian.
Okay, don't do it. Do it or not.
I'm not going to do it.
Could make an offer conditioned on acceptable. We said we could do it.
Then don't.
Anyway, do you have any interest in interviewing this other guy? The one.
Actually, I want to, what I would like to see is that Kevin put an ad in the newspaper, both the Athol Daily News. Why isn't anybody else in this meeting? This is an open meeting.
We haven't opened it yet, so waiting for the chairman to tell me what he
wants. Once you open it, we'll talk about it. Until then, I'm not talking about it.
All right.
Okay. Okay, John, when you're ready, you can call it to order now that you have two.
All right, I'd like to open this Board of Selectmen's meeting, February 3rd. It'll be 7:14. So earlier, we interviewed one of the candidates that had applied, and the other one had a medical emergency. So we're gonna have to do something more about the custodial position at a later date. So, Kevin, you want to go right into new businesses? I don't see any.
No, it's just a special meeting because you had a couple of things to deal with that had a time constraint on them. The board interviewed candidates for town treasurer last week. Excuse me a sec. I'm not sure what this is about. Selectman's office. Nobody there? Okay. Last week, the board interviewed candidates for town treasurer. You had two candidates, Jake Volker and Melanie Rajanimi. If you have someone that you'd like to offer an appointment to, you could offer a conditional appointment, and the condition would be based on acceptable references, successful query and bonding. Excuse me. Selectman's office, may I help you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not sure why the tax collector is telling you to call the selectman's office for a tax. Yeah. I'm not sure why the tax collector's recording is directing you to call the selectman's office, because we can't get to their equipment to give out tax documents. Yeah. Hmm. If you hold on a second, I will double check and see what their hours are and see if we can find for you when they should be there. Okay, it says here, Wednesdays 1 to 4 and 6 to 7 and otherwise by appointment only. Mm-hmm.
I've been telling you you're in a meeting.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. 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 Sorry about that. Thank you. Bye-bye. Another happy customer.
So Gare, I'm ready to make a motion for the town treasurer. For this Melanie Rajanimi, is that how you say it?
Yes, Brajanimi.
Last meeting, you said you wanted to check something. Gare's muted again.
Okay, wait a sec. Sorry. Gare, could you unmute, please?
Gare,
Yeah,
seems like we were in pretty much agreement last meeting with the town treasurer, but there's some stuff you said you wanted to look into. Are you ready now?
I looked into some things and what I got back, I was not very happy with. So I'm in no shape that I'm going to vote for either the accountant or the treasurer at this time. What I really want to see, though, is I'm not comfortable with just having two options in both of these, as well as the custodian. We need more advertising. So what I'd really want to see is 2 consecutive weeks of ads for these positions in both the Athol Daily News and the Greenfield Recorder, so that we can get a qualified group of people applying for this. And further, I would like them to send their letters of interest to both of us, John, and not to Kevin Flynn only, because my feeling is that he's been throwing things away. I've talked to several people that said that they applied for these positions and they don't come up on our list at all. So something's being thrown away. So
Nothing's being thrown away.
Well, have they provided
Ben.
you with information?
what's that?
Have they provided you with some information?
Yes, I talked to 2 people and they said
Why
they
don't you share
applied.
that with us?
What's that?
Why don't you share that with us?
I don't have all of their contact information. I don't have all that.
You have a name?
Yeah, we need to have a treasurer and an accountant to have this business running. I mean, the state's gonna, I don't know, Kevin, what did we just get a notice on?
We just got a notice from the state that the Schedule A hasn't been filed, and they're going to shut down our local aid as of the middle of this month. They're not going to make our payments because the Schedule A hasn't been filed.
Okay, whose responsibility is that?
The accountant.
Okay, so we have a temporary accountant, don't we?
Yeah,
Well, why haven't they filed it?
it's an important document. It takes time to file it. It didn't get filed because our last accountant left, and she left abruptly because you were not willing to entertain an alternative work arrangement with her after she stayed on significantly after her last date of work.
No, that's because we told you a month earlier that we weren't going to go down that road.
Let's not play the name game.
Ignored us.
We do
on
not
that- on
have
that-
someone, and we're about to lose our aid.
No, we're not about to lose our aid. If somebody files that form, we would be fine. We have an accountant that can do it. Obviously, there's some
Who are the
miscommunication.
who are the people who claim their forms were thrown out?
I know. If you've
Give
got
us a
some
name.
people that are interested, Gary, why don't you share them with us? You know,
Give us a
I
name.
want to see paperwork for these people.
Give us a
And
name
I'm
for the
not gonna-
people whose forms were thrown out. You claim they were thrown out. They told you. Who are the names?
Kevin Flynn, I'm not going to tell you that because you're throwing things away, and I
John.
know you are.
Well, tell me. I'm not throwing anything away.
No, Kevin, I'm not going to get into it. I want to see the people that
I don't believe
applied.
you. Nobody believes you. And the press
You're-
will report tomorrow that you're making it up because you won't say who it is. So tell us all, while the press is here, whose papers were thrown out.
I'm not going down that road, Kevin Flynn. I want to see more people apply for these positions. And I don't care what your problems are.
So these
I
people
don't
that
have a
had
problem.
Kevin,
I'm not voting for either the accountant, the custodian, or the treasurer. Done.
now, these people that contacted you, are they interested in the position?
Yes, of course, they were interested.
We'll tell them to send the stuff in. Give them
They
to
did.
you.
They got
Then
thrown
you can-
away. I told them to send it in again, but this time I'm going to have them send it to me. But also anybody else I want 2 ads in the paper for 2 weeks.
Ads were in the paper for 2 weeks.
No, you put it in for 1 day. The treasurer was
No,
not in the
they were
Athol
in-
Daily News at all.
No,
No, it
sir.
wasn't, Kevin Flynn. You're a liar,
mistaken.
piece of shit. You're a liar. It was not in the Athol Daily News. I had 2 people look for it, and it was not in there.
You're mistaken. It was in the Athol Daily News Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 2 weeks running. And whatever shows up there shows up in the Greenfield Recorder as well.
Move on. I'm not dealing with any appointments tonight.
Okay. Open meeting law complaints. Attorney McEnany has provided a response to Ruth's open meeting law complaints. It was in your packets.
Yeah.
Um,
So I would entertain a motion to allow our lawyers to proceed. Is that what they're looking for?
That's what he's looking for. He wants you to approve the open meeting law complaint response.
I'll second that.
All right, motion and seconded. Phillipston, aye.
Let's have some discussion about this. What's going on with this?
It's not something we can discuss in public.
His advice
All
is not to discuss it. in
You
public.
have the paperwork and they're handling it for us.
Okay. Fan dryer, aye.
Thank you.
John, are you and I?
Oh, Phillipston, aye. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I thought I had.
okay. The Gerhard provided bullet points on a response to the school district on their letter to the selectmen and put his bullets into a response letter for you to look at and I inserted them where he indicated into the draft use agreement, which were in your packet. They're both marked
Sure.
draft in a watermark across the page.
Well, unless we've heard something more, I would make a motion that we send these on. Have you heard?
I'll second
anything-
that.
Have you heard anything more from
No,
these people that,
No.
did you find out if they have our check?
I've left 3 messages now with that company. I don't have it in front of me, Barter Gilman or whatever it is.
Martin Gilman LLP.
Yep, and still have not gotten nothing back. So I don't know.
You're telling me you've not spoken with them?
I've tried. Haven't talked to anybody. I can't even get through to a secretary. So, Kevin,
Just to be clear, they cashed our check for $5,000 and they're not returning your calls.
correct. Not getting back to me or anything. Now, Kevin,
I
did you
think
get
we
those
should-
corrections I asked to make to that letter that you had?
Yeah, The letter you sent was corrected. This is the corrected version, the way you asked for it.
Well, I don't have that in front of me.
It was
Well,
emailed to you. Check your
You
email.
emailed them and I just said, go ahead with it, because it looked like the same stuff you were asking.
All right, go for it then.
So the question remains, can they winterize the building even though they don't own it?
No, they can't. It's not their building to winterize.
But you don't have that from your lawyers, from Martin Gilman. Right?
Well, if we haven't talked to them, then that would be
They
the
haven't
correct
responded.
answer.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, and you know, I looked over your bullet points, but I didn't notice that you didn't mention not to winterize.
Well, it's our building. They can't winterize something that they lease. And especially
I know,
something they're trying to give
But
up on.
we should say that. I
Well,
thought you had said that. That's my bad. I just said to go ahead with what your recommendations were.
it said it in the thing that I put together. I'm trying to get to my email.
Well, I'd say if it's not on this draft letter, then we add that and then send it on. I will amend my I had motioned to send these on, but I guess you didn't cover all the bases.
So you
Well, the
want
one,
something that says, don't winterize the building.
Sure.
Okay.
I guess that would be bullet point number 10, I guess.
well, no, I have it here, but I have the old one that, the previous one that he wrote out, February 1st. I don't have anything newer than that.
Yeah, who wrote?
Kevin wrote.
February 1st.
Yeah, the one that says
Right.
February 1st,
Right. So
2021.
we're
That's
gonna
it.
add to that.
So this one here still says the same thing is not the corrected version.
What?
Yeah, I sent you the corrected version.
I haven't found it.
Kevin, is that the one dated February 1st?
Yep, February 1st, 2021.
And it says notice of termination, Phillipston Elementary School.
Yep.
And the first point is town retains exclusive control over the use of the building during this
Right.
period. That is something that Gerhard had asked for.
Yes.
No, I asked them to remove during this period.
That's the second version.
I don't have the second version.
Okay. All right, let me resend it to you. Hang on. Oops. Here.
Why don't we just leave it as the town retains exclusive control over the use of this building?
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to say.
What is that damn squeaking
And if
noise?
it says during this period, what does that matter?
Well, because we own it regardless. So it's not just during this period. It's going to go on.
Gerhard, we're gonna take over
after this
control of the
period.
building. We're making this thing a lot harder than it needs to be. We just need to take the building over from them.
Right, right. But we also want to do it where it's in the town's best interest. So, John,
Yeah,
while we're waiting on this, what are your thoughts on removing the town from the state of emergency?
why would we do that?
Well, we don't need it anymore.
Oh, the pandemic's gone?
No, the state's in a state of emergency, but I checked with the Board of Health and the emergency management, and it's not required that we are in a state of emergency.
You got to be kidding.
won't-
The numbers have just
It won't
jumped up.
affect any of our grants or anything.
I'm sorry, what was that again, Gary?
It won't affect any of our grants or anything like that.
Our numbers are worse now than they've ever been.
No, they're not. They're getting better.
15 cases a week since January. They were down around 7 and 8, and now they've been going up 51, 61, 41, 51, 61. Every week it's going up 10 more cases. It's not worse.
Well, the more testing you do, the more cases you're gonna
It's
get.
not about testing. It's about cases coming
All
in.
right.
It's
I'm
about
not gonna
test.
lift it. I'm not gonna vote to lift the state of emergency.
I'm still waiting on that thing to come through.
Yep, here it is.
So what do you think we should do about this Barton Gilman? Just like contact our town lawyers to see about recouping our losses?
I don't know. Dan Sandin recommended this guy, so I'll see what I'll call Dan and find out if he can get through.
Gary, when people run for select, you should be the person deciding what you think we should do, not who Tom, Dick, and Harry is telling you what you should do.
Well, I'm sorry, John, but you're not guiding me any better than anybody else. So therefore, I have to ask help from the people that I know that can help me.
Gary, you had a passion for this and wanted to take it over. So I said, whatever you want, let's do it. And that's what we've been doing, but we're getting nowhere.
Yeah, because the help that we have in the front office isn't helping us out.
I didn't tell you to hire that law firm.
No, it took you a month to pay the bill.
You hired him, did not. You're a
The-
liar.
the che-
That
the
bill
check-
was paid on time, and you claimed that we lost it in the front office. I've got the emails to prove it. That bill was paid and they cashed it, and they haven't answered your phone calls. You chose that firm. It was your suggestion. And Dan Sandin told you what to do, like he's been telling you all along. Don't give me that.
The check was written on.
for
The
once.
check
And
was
stop
written.
using vulgar language.
I'm not using vulgar language. The check was written.
Who was
The
just
check
talking
was
about I'm in
written
no
on this-
shape to make a decision? Wasn't
The
me,
check was.
John.
The check was.
For an apology for the F-bomb. Grow up.
The check was written on December 16th. The check was deposited on January 13th. That's a month went by and before it was deposited. So you tell me where it disappeared for a whole month.
Ask the accountant. Ask the treasurer. I don't have anything to do with those checks.
The
Ask
check was
their treasurer.
on the 16th of December.
I
You
don't hold
tell
those
me where it
checks. Probably because you didn't sign the warrant.
went. It had nothing to do with it.
No. We
Get that in the office.
Sign the
I know,
warrant.
I saw it there. We tried to get your signatures, but we're not getting anywhere. Let's skip over this.
Oh.
When you see the
email with the letter in it. What do you want changed?
Hang on, I'm just opening it now.
Okay, open it up. What do you want changed?
Well, if it's the way that you corrected it, then it's fine.
What's the part about no changing, what do you call it? Winterizing the building. Where do you want that? And what do you
I think number 10.
exactly? Word for word.
Gary, you have any wording that you would like to add for that?
Yeah, I have to go back to my list. My list had some stuff on it regarding that.
Kevin, you must have his things, if you can find it in there where if he talks about it. Otherwise, I would say, to say, by no means do we want the district to winterize the building. We will take over the utilities and so forth, and do not want them to, whatever they were planning on doing, to winterize. And I'd say, make that number 10. I don't want to hold this up any longer. It's getting ridiculous.
So I had, number 2, I had the town does not allow for any other entity to restrict the town from using the property whenever needed. Thus, the property must be continually usable upon a moment's notice. And because we use it for other things. So that would mean that you can't shut it down.
I think what we're trying to do is, so you're saying we don't need that? Oh, I'm looking at, this one does have a number 10. This is the,
I doubt they're going to shut it down. We only got 12 days left. Because if we're taking the property over as of February 13th, at this point, it's doesn't make any sense to do that.
to do what?
But you can put something in there if you want.
Well, we
in-
need-
Anything in that we're not directed to do.
The
It's
school
your letter.
use agreement. We would like
What's
to
that?
send one.
Yeah. Send this letter through then.
Okay. I will print it out in a final version. It'll be sitting on the counter outside here tomorrow morning. You can come in and sign it and it'll go in the mail.
Okay.
And I'll hand deliver it tomorrow morning after it's signed. I'll drive it over and give it to the superintendent. Okay? No
I don't-
changes then?
I don't know if you need to do that, but
You can email it to Susan. I'm sure she'll get it.
Okay. I'll put tomorrow's date on it because that's when you'll sign it. And we'll say via email at the top.
And you can send it to John and I at the same time so that we know you sent it.
Of course. So we will leave it as it stands then, no changes because you feel it's covered.
Yep.
Okay.
well, unless you have something more, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
No, I'm not ready for that yet. Sally Casberg asked us to appoint Pat Elaine
Not deal with
for.
any appointments tonight. We can all wait.
Really?
Yep. I
Okay,
think
well-
I already said that. I'm not,
Okay, Mr. Chairman, there's nothing else then.
no. I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
You can look at me all you want. I'm not going to second it.
Oh. Well, then I call this meeting over.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, if you leave the meeting, then the meeting lacks a quorum. Okay, good night.